First of all, I've just realised that I'm no professional. Not at all, to be honest. In fact, right, watch this. Why is this so zoomed in? There you go. Look at my tripod. I haven't got a tripod at the moment. I really need one. That's what I'm using at the moment. My sister's gin glass. Her speaker. And on top of that, some solar powered light that my mum's got in the kitchen. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'll tell you what though, watch this. Spin it round. Oh, just flip. Zoom it in a bit. Now without looking like a serial killer. Look at that! Right, I'm not going to do one of them cheesy YouTube intros and stuff like that. I just wanted to talk on this channel about me, my head, mental health in general, and you know what people can do and what I'm doing to, you know, hopefully get myself back on the right path. So yeah, without making this too cheesy, I'll get on with the video. Oh, that's not bubble. Nice. As a 23-year-old lad going out with his mates, going drinking, going to events, studying, working, being kind of a social butterfly in terms of everything, like shifting through everything, I did not expect to one day literally be, it's almost being struck by lightning. It was like something switched in my head and all of a sudden I was like, whoa, and it was like I became really aware of absolutely everything. Like I've had panic attacks before, but I've never suffered necessarily with general like anxiety, and that was really hard to deal with, to be honest. I remember I was on my way over to university, I was on the train and I drove to the train station and I felt a bit weird in the car on the way to the train station. You know when you just can't wait to get out of somewhere, get somewhere, and basically got on a train and I just started feeling really clammy, really hot, really like bothered, and it wasn't good. I was like, I don't feel me, it's not me, and I was just so, it's like hyper aware. It was like I could zoom in, you know on a movie where they have all these special effects where you zoom into someone's conversation 2 carriages down on the train and stuff like that. It was like that, and to be honest, it was horrendous. I was so aware of everyone's eyes and everyone's, you know, it was like I could see into people's heads. It sounds like I'm a bit insane here, but that's exactly what it felt like with that. It wasn't even a panic attack, it was an anxiety attack. I've noticed the difference. Panic attacks where you wake yourself up, you can't breathe, you know, you feel like the world's caving in on you. This anxiety was just weird. It was like I had all 150 people in the 2 carriages of the train that I was on were staring at me and judging me and everything. It was horrible. But yeah, like I say, as a 23-year-old lad, I did not expect at all to all of a sudden be struck with this thing, especially when I've got this natural confidence that I've always had and found this natural confidence. Even if I didn't feel great, I'd always have the ability to put a face on, to put a mask on and stuff like that, and it was almost as if that mask was ripped off me without me even thinking about it and without me wanting it to be, certainly. But yeah, anyway, I was on my way to university on the train, that happened, and I remember I had to get off at Liverpool Central and I had to get off 4 stops early because I literally couldn't stay on the train. I just needed air. I felt really claustrophobic in my own mind, and it was the most terrifying moment of my life. I'm not even bothered. I'll admit that. It sounds mad, but I will happily admit that. Yeah, from then on I tried to make it to uni, but my balance had gone completely. I was just, and that is a symptom of anxiety, by the way, is like dizziness. I didn't realise at the time, I thought I was still. But I tried to make up to uni. I was literally waddling like a penguin with one leg through, that'd be hopping actually, wouldn't it? But through the city centre, and I was literally just trying to find the first place that I could for some like solace. That was silence, and you know, there was no one around me or less people around me. And then, I admit, I literally full on broke down. I sat in St John's Garden in Liverpool and I sobbed my heart out. I literally cried my eyes out. Yeah, wasn't nice. At 6'1", you know, full of tattoos, stocky as hell. You know, I've got man boobs for days, but all of a sudden I was this child again, and the only thing I wanted was my mum. And I remember ringing my mum and she said, it's always that way, isn't it, when someone asks you, are you okay? And you go, I did exactly that. I just broke. I rang one of the girls from uni. I said, listen, I'm not going to be in today. And I literally sunk into this park bench and cried my eyes out for a good half an hour until my mum got there. My mum came over with my uncle. I sat in the car. I was snot bubbles coming out my nose. Yeah, I was proper going for it. I was crying my eyes out. And it felt like the only thing I could do. I couldn't focus, I couldn't talk, and I was literally reduced to nothing, pretty much. Now that was really, really daunting, and throughout the rest of that day, I literally lay in bed. In fact, just sat there, and I was in this complete hole, and I just knew at that time, I was like, something's not right here, something is not right. Anyway, after speaking to my mum, I had a consultation with the doctors, and I've been to the doctors before about mental health because I felt low, but specifically this time it was more like the anxiety side of things. And I think anxiety is very banded round very easily, but this was like, it was the only word I could use to describe the way I was feeling, was anxious. But anyway, I went to the doctors. I was prescribed some medication. I was prescribed sertraline, and Jesus Christ, it was like I was hit by a train. To be perfectly honest, I had it. I took sertraline. I can't remember the milligrams or whatever, but I took the sertraline. I fell asleep. I slept for 14 hours. The first night I was on sertraline, 14 hours. I woke up, I felt like I'd just been down to Concert Square and had about 7 pints. I was absolutely wobbly as anything. Like, my balance had gone, my head had gone. Like, I felt so drunk. Like, I felt absolutely wellied, and I just thought, I can't do this. But decided to persevere with it for another night, and I stuck with the sertraline again. It was about 12 hours, but solid sleep as well. Like, I'm a proper restless sleeper. Trust me, I was like a, I don't know. You can't actually see the cogs turning in my head here. I'm trying to think of something funny, but it's just, you know, to try and lighten the mood, but I just felt like a shell. It was horrible. It got to the point and I said to my mum, there is no way I am taking that again. I stopped the sertraline, I went back to doctors, and I was prescribed propranolol, which are beta blockers, so they stop tremors, because my hands started to shake like anything once this all started, and my heart was just constantly pounding. It was like, I mean, I am unfit, I admit that, but it was like I'd done a workout constantly. It was like boom, 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 just, you know, this fast, irregular heartbeat. And I was like, right. So anyway, the propranolol or beta blockers, so they stopped that and the shaking. And then I was also prescribed diazepam, which I was really hesitant about taking because that's quite like a strong sedative. But anyway, took it, diazepam, and it hit me, and I slept soundly once again, but I woke up this time without that like grogginess, which was nice. And I'm really rubbish for taking tablets, so for the first few days I was taking the propranolol, which you meant to take 3 times a day, but I was taking it like as and when I remembered, which isn't very good, but it helped. It stopped the shakes, it stopped the fast heartbeat and stuff. Alongside that, I was struggling with dizziness, like this dizziness, and every time I went to the doctors it was like, oh, it's just, you know, it's just a side effect of the anxiety, it's a side effect of the anxiety. And the only, put it this way, right, the only person who knows your body, or the person who knows your body the best, sorry, is you. and I knew for a fact, I was like, listen, I've struggled with panicking and feeling a little bit anxious, you know, throughout 5 or 10 years now. Since I was in school, I remember my first panic attack actually was in school. So all that mental health side of thing, I was like, I've struggled with that, I know what it feels like, but this dizziness just wouldn't go away. It was persistent, and it was like, I couldn't walk properly. I remember taking the dogs for a walk. I got 100 metres away from my house, and I said to my mum, I can't walk, my legs are blocked, and my legs felt like lead, like they were just heavy as anything. And I was like, I can't do it. And I had to get, one of the neighbours was coming out of the shop at the end of the road, and actually had to get them to drop me off home. Again, it makes you feel worthless, and I think with the dizziness and that situation, the dizziness was really kicking off my anxiety. It was making me really apprehensive, you know, I wasn't wanting to leave the house. And to be honest, fast forward to April now, I'm still struggling with that stuff, with the dizziness in particular. But I just wanted to also quickly mention about CBT, which is like cognitive behavioural therapy. So that is a form of anxiety and thought altering therapy. And I'm always skeptical of counsellors. I've always thought, oh my God, you just read a list off Google or something. So I was like, nah, I'm not doing it again. But I went to this CBT, which was different altogether. It was run by a company called the Open Door Centre, which is actually a charity. And I went and I was assigned a mentor, a girl who was actually younger than me. So this is a girl who's younger than me. And again, I'm thinking, when you think of professionals, you think of people who understand from like this scientific or medical side of things, but what they quite often miss is the human side of things. Now, this mentor, this girl that I was assigned, and like I say, I was really skeptical of this CBT at first. She was fantastic. Like, honestly, she was one of the best people I've ever met in terms of, not only did she listen, not only did she empathise, but she understood. And it wasn't like she was forcing herself to understand. She was like, I've been there, I've lived this, and I'm going to try and help you. But CBT is a very structured thing. I used to go on a Wednesday at 4 o'clock. It was an 8-week program. I went on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock, but it was a very structured thing in terms of, it was a computer program that you went through and you clicked through all these like weekly topics. It's just like doing any other course. But what I found was, when I sat in that little room with my mentor for that hour, my problems went away for that hour. Yeah, sure, the problems returned and I still can't walk properly and stuff like that, but for that hour, it was gone. But with the CBT, what it is the topics that you're studying are different ways to put yourself in the moment, to stop your mind from wondering about all these thousands of thoughts and really focus on the here and now, like you're here. One of the exercises, for example, was put your hand out flat. So I put my hand out flat and I'm thinking, yeah. So close your eyes. Picture there's a grape in your hand. I'm thinking, how big's this grape? Is it red or green? Like, my head was gone. Honestly, my head was gone. And I'm thinking, pretty hungry, I could eat this grape. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm thinking all these mad thoughts. And then it goes, feel the grape in your hand. I'm going, there's no grape in my hand. There's no grape in my hand. Literally 10 minutes I spent on that exercise, let's say, trying to feel this grape right in the palm of my hand. And it was great. It was honestly, it made me so aware of such a small thing, this grape in my hand. It made me so aware of this tiny thing that I was focused. And for someone whose head thinks of a million things a minute, I was focused for a prolonged period of time. And that's the kind of stuff that CBT does. So if anyone's struggling in terms of like with the overthinking and stuff like that, CBT, 1000% recommend. Like, that's one tiny little exercise you do, but there's loads of things like grounding, there's root beliefs, there's, you know, studying vicious cycles and stuff like that. And it's all about understanding. It's kind of a psychology thing. how the human mind actually works, and it's really interesting as well as really beneficial. Sure, it's not for everyone. Like, the first bit of medication wasn't for me, but it's one of them things, it's one of them avenues that you can go down and you can try. And it really helped me personally, so that's what I just wanted to say. Yeah, I'm going to try and break this video up a bit because it's proper boring. I've got the most monotone voice. I also need a drink, so I'll be back in a sec. Vimto, and you're never gonna believe it, I'm not even joking. Like, what I've just found. Do you know what? I watched this thing recently called The Secret, and it's all about law of attraction, and it's like, you know, if you think things so hard, if you think of things so hard, if you think you want to be successful so hard, then it will come to you. If you want to be rich, and you think about being rich so hard, then it will come to you. Well, I thought of that grape so hard that it has come to me. I just found a bunch of them in the fridge. I mean, I don't know if they're supposed to be in the fridge, but yeah. Oh, by the way, red grapes are the best. When you struggle like this, stupid things are hard, really hard. Like, I've spent periods of the day, not the day even, the week, where I've lain in bed for 4 days. And it's not, and that is lazy, but it's not like I want to be lazy. It's my body's going, you can't do this at the moment, you can't do this at the moment. And what I've realised is, that's alright. Like, that's sound, that's fine. Like, if my body can't do something, I'm not going to force it to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, mad. Oh my god, I've just had the maddest thought ever. I've never seen a dog walk backwards. Look on, there's a sign over there, and it says, a home without a dog is just a house. And I was trying to think of some kind of analogy to describe the body not being able to do something. I thought, can dogs walk backwards? And I just realised the legs are only... My head's gone, that's amazing. Do you know what? Might not have been to uni since December, but I'm still learning. But, yeah. Anyway, I've gone completely off on a tangent there. When it came to March, I had a scan on my head to do with dizziness, because I was adamant on doctors. I was saying to the doctors, they were just fobbing it off, like, oh, you're anxious, you're dizzy with your anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And I said, listen, I am not just dizzy because of that. Like, I can't bloody walk, mate. Like, I can't get to the end of the road. What date is it today? 11th of April. And I've just had my results back today, so I've got to go for physio on my ear because of something called vestibular. That's what's prompted this video, to be honest. I just thought, right, I've got some kind of foundations to work from, so I'm going to push forward now. And again, my head's gone. So, basically, I've pushed myself so hard sometimes that I've absolutely exhausted myself, and other times I've laid in bed for 4 or 5 days and not done anything. And I mean, to the point where it's like, I need to get a shower. I stink like a dog's bumhole, like, but, you know, like, I can't get a shower. Like, at some points my body's like, you can't get out of bed to get a shower today. And I've just thought to myself now, sound, if my body's saying, don't get a shower today, I can't get a shower today. But watch this. Grape, yeah. I'm like a dog, but I can walk backwards. I can't walk at all. Anyway, I think this video's gone on long enough. But what the most important thing I wanted to get across here is, despite my joking and my laughing and stuff like that, anyone of any age, of any size, of any gender, of any, you know, background can be struck down in an instant by something that they are not expecting, and that thing is their own mind. And when you struggle and have a battle with your own mind every day, it can be so exhausting. But there are ways to cope, and I'm telling you now, like, I've put things in place for me to cope, and I'm someone who is very stubborn and very critical of things. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. At the moment, I'm going to this thing, well, not going to, I'm actually going to ring these up. I've just been given this by the doctor. So this is Talking Together Whittle, and hopefully what I'm going to do there is I'm going to do some counselling. And like I say, I've been sceptical of it in the past. I was sceptical of the CBT, that really helped. So now I'm going to give something else a go. And I really just want to encourage people to either A, go to doctors. If you feel not yourself and you're worried about your mind and stuff like that, go to doctors. B, if you don't feel comfortable going to doctors, tell someone. There are so many people out there. Another place that really helped me was the Samaritans charity. The number is, I'll put it on the screen. I'll put it on the screen for the Samaritans. But they were lovely. I spoke to this fella, I don't know, let's call him Ron, and Ron spoke to me for half an hour while I was having a panic attack in December, and he just brought me back down to earth. It stops you from doing stupid things. But yeah, I want people to talk. I want people to feel like they are able to talk. So first of all, if you don't feel comfortable talking to someone you know, ring the Samaritans. If you don't feel comfortable talking to the Samaritans and you feel the other way, comfortable talking to someone you know, talk to someone you know. Just talk, and please do. My DMs on my Twitter and my Instagram, and they're always open. And to be fair, ask my exes. I am the worst replier, but I will reply, or I'll try to reply. But you know what I've found? Just like this video, even if you write out your thoughts, or if you talk and you vent in any way, it gets it out of here and it puts it out here in the open, and that's the most important thing, because otherwise you're just going to be like a bottle of pop and you're just going to continue to shake yourself up until one day you do something stupid. And this is why things like suicide rates, especially in males, are ridiculously high. And all it takes is something as simple as saying the word help. Like, I need help. If you or anyone is struggling, like, seriously, it's sad. I never used to get emotional. I used to take the piss out of my mum for crying at the adverts on telly and stuff like that, but I found myself really realising that emotion is human, and if you're not emotional, you are inhuman. Just get it out, I cry, fuck me, I cry like, probably cry like, probably 3 times a week. And do you know what? I cry at the adverts like my mum on the telly now, but yeah, that is okay, It's okay to cry, it's okay to talk, it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to be human. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go because I'm babbling, absolutely babbling here. I'm gonna finish the rest of this punnet of grapes because I'm fat. And yeah, I'll speak to you in the next video. Speak to you in the next video. But